You know the exact moment the laptop snaps shut or the video ends, and the room instantly unravels. Kids start shifting, talking, and dropping pencils. It is incredibly easy to look at that sudden wave of restlessness and see it as misbehavior. You might think they're acting out or ignoring your authority, but they aren't. What you're actually seeing is physical exhaustion. Focus is not a switch that kids can just flip on and off. It is a finite resource. It burns out with use, very much like a muscle getting tired after a heavy workout. This diagram illustrates what researchers call directed attention. When a student looks at a screen, their brain is working incredibly hard to focus on the task while fighting off a barrage of fast cuts, notifications, and distractions. It takes a massive amount of effort, like a smartphone burning through its cellular data plan, and it drains their cognitive battery fast. This is why taking the devices away doesn't magically create a quiet room. The screen is gone, but the attention battery is still completely empty. Lecturing them to pay attention doesn't give them their energy back. So if you hand out a math worksheet the second the laptops go away, that transition is guaranteed to fail. You are asking a student to do heavy mental lifting with a dead battery. The good news is, the human brain has another setting. It's called involuntary attention. This happens when we engage in gentle, effortless noticing, like watching a bird out the window or doing a simple stretch. It requires zero mental strain. Think of it like taking that drained smartphone and finally letting it connect to Wi-Fi. The heavy strain stops. By shifting into this effortless mode, the mind gets a chance to actually recharge the battery. Sending a disruptive student to a calm down corner treats a behavioral symptom. A biological reset, by contrast, targets the neurological state of the whole class, recharging everyone's attention resource at once. Your primary objective right after a screen turns off is to build a bridge. You have to guide the whole room back to that low-effort Wi-Fi state before you ask them to do any more heavy cognitive lifting. Managing this deliberate transition is how you effectively hand cognitive resources back to the student. We do this using the 7-minute post-screen reset protocol. It is a reliable, 4-part routine you run the exact same way every single time a screen is put away. Step 1 takes about 2 minutes, and it's all about movement. Staring at a device locks the body in unnatural stillness, and that physical stiffness actually worsens mental fatigue. We have to break that tension first. You adapt this based on who you're teaching. For kindergartners, you might lead a simple shakeout song. For high schoolers, you just give them a full minute for a silent, self-directed stretch so they aren't feeling self-conscious. Step 2 is a minute or 2 of breath or silence. This is the direct recharge. Whether it's the teacher counting slow breaths out loud or just heads resting on desks, you are removing all competing sights and sounds so the brain can finally pause. You have to do these in this specific order. You cannot ask a child to find mental quiet until you give them a way to release the physical tension they just built up. Step 3 is a quick 2-minute reflection prompt. We aren't testing them here. We just want to activate that gentle noticing state rather than deep analysis. You might ask younger kids to shout out a color they see in the room. For older kids, have them notice one detail they hadn't seen before, writing it on a sticky note. Over the year, the classroom corkboard fills up, making this quiet habit visible. Step 4 closes the routine with a 1-minute faith tie-in. This is a single, authentic sentence that anchors the habit in something bigger. You might say, "Even God rested after creating in Genesis, so rest isn't a failure, it's part of the design." Or you could simply quote Psalm 46, "Be still and know that I am God." Closing the loop with meaning integrates the routine into the school's spiritual life. These 7 minutes become a repeated practice in Christian formation, anchored in the student's own experience of rest. For this to actually work, there is one non-negotiable rule. You have to run it for the entire class, every single time a device is put away. No exceptions. Think of it like a fire drill. When the alarm rings, no one explains the rules from scratch. The kids already know what to do. When the screen turns off, that's your alarm. The class simply stands and begins the routine. Let's be honest about what to expect. The first couple of weeks will be messy. Kids will be awkward. It will take active management from you to keep them on track while they learn the steps. You can always adapt it to your reality. The 4 steps always stay in the exact same order. But if you're in a tight schedule, you can compress the minutes. If you have zero budget, swap the sticky notes for a verbal response. The real payoff happens around week 4. The structure becomes completely automatic, and those frustrating post-screen disciplinary flare-ups naturally fade away. We live in a culture that teaches both adults and kids to feel vaguely guilty about resting. We're trained to see stillness as wasted time. But running this short protocol day after day does something quietly profound. By connecting rest to a tangible physical relief, you are teaching students that stillness is an intentional part of how God designed us to care for our minds. Teachers have spent years battling screens. You've restricted them, you've warned against them, and you've probably felt exhausted doing it. It is time to step away from that unwinnable tug-of-war against the device itself. Real peace in your classroom comes from focusing on the one thing you completely control, those crucial 7 minutes right after the screen goes dark.